I've known this gentleman 6 years ago when, he was actually at that time struggling a little bit. And now his life is totally transformed. And I, as a friend, I witnessed this with my own eyes. If I did not see it with my own eyes, I too would be skeptical. But I want to invite him up, and he will share his story with us. And so please, big welcome for Mr. Samson Lee, our double diamond.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Please give Mark a big hand. I mean, it's not often that, Mark is one of the rising stars, and, he's not, like I think Voss said, he's not a serial killer, but a serial entrepreneur. Can you feel his spirit? I mean, he's somebody with a lot of persistence, and what he talked about, I think, I don't know if it makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me. So now we're going to start our second half of our program. So feel free if you need to use the bathroom, but, you can go in and out. But what we want to do is the next half hour, maybe hour, half hour for me, maybe less than that, and then somebody even more important will come out to share very important life-changing information with you, is that I think sometimes, as just a human being in life, Mark talked about freedom. And I know all of us want it, right? That's why we're living in America, as opposed to somewhere else, right? And I'm very grateful for the opportunity that we have here because I was very fortunate. I've been a business owner for more than 20 years. I know I look 28, but I'm really 46. So the products work very good, see? But thank you. But, I started my first business right out of college. I started in my real estate business. I studied finance and real estate. Out of college, got a broker's license. And then I hired my dad to be the agent. Always have somebody smarter than you working for you, okay? That's how you become successful. But a couple of years later, a friend of mine asked me to go into the furniture business. So I kind of went in there. I thought, buy low, sell high. I started my furniture business. In the blink of an eye, I had 3 stores. Now, having a lot of employees, a lot of pressure. One of the barriers to having a business is what? Just investment, right? And then the courage to really do something, right? Well, we're so scared that many times as business owner, any of you business owner out there? Yeah? Oh, afraid to raise your hand? Okay. How many are W-2 status? So what do the rest of you do? Gymnasts, okay. Well, as a business owner, when we invest so much money, when we have all that liability and the risk, I'm not going to let something go just because the first one don't have any business, right? So for the first 3 years in my furniture business, I worked 7 days a week. Literally. Very hard. And I did that, and I was very lucky to get my investment back. The next 7 years after that, I opened 2 more stores, and I wrote that, what we call economic cycle. You know what that is, right? The economic cycle, okay? So the thing that got me on the downturn was something called 9/11. And, life happens, right? Things happen in life. So I started losing a lot of money, and I had to get out of that business at the end of 2003. I had to liquidate my stores, and I sent my furniture to an auction. How many of you been to auction? This guy talking very fast, right? So I thought, oh, you know what? That's a business. I don't have to employ anybody. I can just try to be myself, right? So I decided I'd be an auctioneer. Okay? How many of you seen a Chinese guy talk very fast? Okay, another time. But I got into that business. And it was at that time when I was networking in Alhambra, in Arcadia, Pasadena Chamber of Commerce, trying to get some business for auction, through a friend, I met this lady right here in the picture, my very dear friend Kim Hui. And our background's similar. We're both from, Hong Kong, educated here, been here 30-something years. But I saw her in a business in a couple of years make millions. I was like, what kind of business is this? She doesn't have any employees, don't have to manage anybody, and a real entrepreneur. And, it's not often, I have to say, that I meet somebody who has a big dream. And it seemed impossible for most of us. I mean, can you imagine most of us, average person, even business owner, a couple years make millions? Is not very often. I saw her do it. And not only that, but she's somebody with a heart of gold, really want to help people. I saw her help many people become millionaires in the process. And I thought, you know what? I got to find out. I got to learn what this is. So it was then 6 years ago, like Weenie said, that she shared with us this company called Jeunesse is going to open. It's going to open September in 2009. And she called a few of us to her house and the kitchen table, literally. Well, are we in? I'm like, I'm all in. Then I said, what is it? It's like Warren Buffett come invest with you, right? You ask what it is later, right? You say yes first, right? So it makes sense to me that way. That's how I kind of started in Jeunesse. I've never made a lot of money in this kind of business before. But I've been itching since 1995 when I opened my first furniture store. I've been itching because 1995 was when they first came out. The internet is going to be the next big thing, right? And how many of you want a piece of that? Okay, let me just ask a silly question. How many of you have been online? Okay, humor me a second. Okay, how many of you have bought stuff online? Look at that, okay? Because 5 years ago, it was a little bit different. Maybe only 20% of people. But 5 years later today is different. But let me ask, how many of you have made millions online? Uh-oh, what happened? See, that's what Dr. Mark was talking about, catching the trend. And today, just for the next 20 minutes, I want to share with you how we can jumpstart that business. Would you like to hear that? Yeah? What it takes? Is that okay? Because Dr. Mark talked about a system. And this system can teach us the know-how. So maybe we can start the PowerPoint, all right? Okay. So we're going to try to fast-track this business. Now, let me ask, though, if it's possible. Now, success, I think, is defined differently by everybody. Am I right? It's not like a number you can quantify. Everybody's number is different, or everybody's situation is different. And Dr. Mark talking about, money rich, time poor. I know a lot of people like that. Or money poor and time poor. Okay? So let me ask, though. Just humor me. You don't have to answer. But let's imagine ourselves. And today might be your first time look at this opportunity. And you see something here. How are these normal people doing it? How are they creating a new lifestyle? Well, just imagine your mind. What if there's something that you want to do in your life that you wish you could do right now? And because of either lack of money or lack of time, you're not able to do that. There's no way. This just seems impossible. But what if, through Jeunesse, you were able to pay off the house, get a new car? Maybe your mom needs some money for medical whatever. Or maybe you have some credit card debt you want to get rid of. Or maybe the kids, they're on the way to college and you need to start really saving up or it'll be too late. So whatever it is, think about that. And let's say pretend. We're going to work very hard in Jeunesse. Maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year. And at that time, you got everything that you want because you made a lot of money. You were successful in Jeunesse. Now, if it's possible, put a number to that. How much is that? Think about it in your mind. How much is that? Then, looking back today, if it was 100% that you could do it, would you go at this business 100%? How many will you take me up on that? Go at this business 100%. Okay. A little bit more than 5.5 years ago, that's where I was. I was still in debt from my furniture business. Multiple 6 figures. And at a job, I would never be able to pay off. There's this huge gorilla on my back, And when Kim said there's an opportunity, I'm like, okay, I'm in. Because there's no way I can get that from a job. Does that make sense? I really need something different. And most of us where we are today, because we've been doing the same old. If you want to change, you want something different, right? So today, well, what is this business? How can we get started? First, let's make it real. You got to have the right perception. Mark talked about the glasses that we wear, the rose-colored glasses, we see the world in different color than the reality. Because that's our, quote-unquote, known world. Okay? Now, what psychologists say is very interesting. They say that 90% of the things we believe is not true. Yeah, can you imagine? It's just how our perception. So first, Jeunesse, it's a real business. Because I still remember 1995, when the internet came out, I had my furniture store, my brick store, brick and mortar. And then they talk about online store. Jeunesse, global business, online. It's a real business. It's an online store. Everything done for you already. Next, well, to have some success here, to get what you want, that number in your head, the goal that you want to accomplish, you got to have some desire. Have you heard that before? Successful people have desire. Desire for what? Well, everybody's desire is different, isn't it? Because, I know many people, they join Jeunesse because they want to make money. But I know a lot of people with money, they have no time. They want that time freedom. And people who have both time and money, you know what they love to do? They love to help people. Contribute something to society. Would that be okay? Right? If you had the time and resources to do that. So you gotta have some desire, something that makes you tick. When you get out of bed, you put your 2 feet on the floor, you're like, okay, today I'm gonna do what I want. Would that be okay? See, for me, that's real true freedom. I'm not tied to the alarm clock. Okay? So, and Jeunesse is a new way to create wealth. Because today, folks, you know where we are in time? This is a time in human history. Through the internet, we're going to have the biggest redistribution of wealth in our lifetime. Right? I mean, before in business, how much would it cost you to start a business? Minimum. 30, 40, 50,000, no? And maybe a couple hundred thousand or more? Well, in this business, the cost is very low because of the internet. Okay? So, let's talk about, what do we do in this business? So in this business is actually creating a distribution channel. We're like plumbers. You know what plumbers do? They lay pipes. And then we turn the water on. That's the product. Okay? And we can make money. So it's kind of like, you know how McDonald's is, right? They have 1 restaurant, 2 restaurants, now franchise around the world. And they're distributing what? Food. Right? But through distribution, you know what McDonald's also distribute? Almost as much as Walmart is toys. Happy Meal. So that's the concept. So through an online system, online platform, we build distribution around the world. Now, how many of you have done a global business? Okay, very few, right? Exactly. That's where I was in my furniture business. I say, going global? I don't speak, and my Chinese is not that good, and my English is a lot better. That's it. But can you imagine just people know people know people know people, just like Facebook nowadays, yeah? We don't have to speak the language. It's through somebody else that we can open markets around the world. A question is, do they see the opportunity like we do? Okay? So this is how we're going to build. And we got to, a lot of people, when they come to the business, they're all, what's this recruiting stuff? Right? And they have a little, get up about that word. But the reality is, we all know how to recruit. Because when you go interview for a job, you're trying to recruit an employee to hire you, aren't you? Now, and then also, how many of you have been on a date? Are you trying to recruit somebody when you're on a date? Right? And recruiting is a process, right? For most of you. You start holding hands, right? And then you maybe get to know each other and do the lip thing, right? And then whatever else, like baseball. Okay. I mean, we all know how to recruit, don't we? Yes, we all know how to do that. So, and then, you know what? One thing is, in business, what Mark shared with you is a very powerful idea. You could be at the right place at the right time and the right person, but if you have a proven system, that's what it's about. That will not guarantee, but lift up your chances, increase immensely your chance of succeeding, because through the system, you can duplicate the success of other people, right? I still remember 10 years ago when I saw Kim making millions, I'm thinking, how does she do it? See, the thing is, it's very simple. When somebody's doing it, that means it can be done, doesn't it? The only question is, how did she do it? And I thought at the time, if I know what 10% of what she knows, maybe I make 10% what she make. That would help a lot, okay? So it was that simple for me, and it makes sense. So this is what we do. We recruit to find entrepreneurs to be partners, and then we teach them how to do the same thing, how to expand the business to open more online stores around the world. I mean, would you make money from one store or 100 stores? Or 1,000 stores? Or 10,000 stores? The more people online, you know what? The more people sharing, the more people talking, it's going viral. You got it? Okay. So, now, who do you look for? Who do you look for? Well, you want to find people with desire. Now, would you like to help me do exercise? I'm going to show you what desire is. Okay? Now, everybody sit up for a second. Sit up straight. Okay? Okay. Now, take a deep, ready? Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Okay. Take a deep breath and hold it. And I'm going to count to 100. Okay, just humor me. Okay, take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay. Okay, you can let go now. You know what desire is? Your desire is something that you want so bad, you cannot live without it. That's what I'm talking about. Desire. We lost that when we start the 9 to 5 thing, when we get into workforce, when we thought we had a dream, go to travel to Europe, and then we settle for Las Vegas. We lost that desire, right? To enjoy life, that's for somebody else. But what happened to us? Why don't we reawaken that? You know, a very smart man, Martin Luther King once said, most people die at 25 and live to 65. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? What happened to our dream? So, find people with desire, find people with credibility. There used to be a commercial. I date myself. When when E.F. Hudson talks, people listen. Or when Warren Buffett talks, people listen, right? Find people with credibility who have done it, who are very upfront, very successful. And also, people with a sphere of influence. Because they have trust. Because they have done something credible in their life. And there's nothing like a lot of money but no credibility. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So you want to find people with a lot of credibility and sphere of influence. I mean, you go to a party, who's the center of attention, right? They have the sphere of influence, okay? So find people open mind. Open mind is very important because most of us have been trained to have a closed mind. When's the last time somebody told you couldn't do something? Yesterday or this morning, right? Okay, all right. Okay, I mean, why? Why do you let somebody else's opinion become your reality? Why do you do that? Oh, because you met her? Sorry, okay. I didn't say that, somebody else did. No, that's a different story. Yes, honey. Okay, all right, you got it. Okay, all right. But, keep an open mind. You have to have that. And be coachable. See, if you think about it, why do we, if we're successful already or we're learning to be successful, why do we need to be coached? Well, let's look at some of the most successful people in this world. For example, athletes. Do every top, world ranking top athlete have a coach? They do. Why? It's very hard to look at yourself when you're in the picture. Yeah? And also, if the coaches, they know what they're doing, they have more experience than you, more seasoned than you. Maybe, hopefully, some of them are a great mentor and somebody with wisdom. They can guide you. Because success doesn't happen overnight. It's ups and downs, internal battles, and you need somebody alongside you to support you, encourage you. Would you like that? Would it be easier? Okay? So, also find people with positive attitude. You know what they say? They once interviewed 100 CEOs in corporate America. And what they say is that they asked them, so why you guys change employees all the time? One of the major reasons, 85% of the reason is attitude. So, now it doesn't guarantee you success though, but you know what? If you have a positive attitude, you'll be better off and closer to success than if you have a negative attitude. And that's what we find. Do you agree with me? Yeah. Look, if you were going to be in a business, you're going to make money together, wouldn't that be a happy thing? Would you like positive people or negative people with you? Okay. I think sometimes if they're really negative, you got to run the other way. Really? No? Time is precious, right? Now, so also find people who are resourceful. Not only money-wise, but knowledge-wise, but resourcefulness as in solving problems. Now, do you know people who are good at solving problems? Now, for those of you who have kids, you're very good, right? But it's very important because sometimes in life, are there challenges? Yes. And you want people who are proven, who have some wisdom, who have some experience to help you. So find those people to work together. When you find, no, you don't have to be the one, but if you find those people to work together, you would have a very good team. Now, let me ask you though, if you were going to start your next business, would you want to create a great business, does it make sense to have some great partners together? Okay, so we call that recruit up. It's like the Lakers, Clippers, they don't just, draft anybody, right? Okay, well, Lakers need to draft some good people, right? Okay, but they just don't go on the street and just pick up anybody, am I right? They want the best. So in life, many of us, we forgot that because we never thought we could achieve it. But if you were going to achieve it, you need some great people with you. So, it makes sense, doesn't it? Now, so what actions that you take? Well, first, it's very important. Understand what you want. What is your why? Why do you need to do this business? Why are you here today? That's a very big question. We're not going to solve that today. But think about it. If you think about it, I once heard Tony Robbins say, your destiny, wherever you're going to be, okay? However many years down the road. Your destiny is the summation of all the decisions you've made in your life. Does that make sense? So you know what that means though? When I thought about it, I thought, well, you know what? Then that means that just by making different decisions, I can change my destiny. Yeah? Do you believe that? Because the past is the past. You gotta let that go. Because today, we have choices every day. And we make different choices today. Tomorrow would be different than today, wouldn't it? So, just understand that. So why? Why are you here? Somehow with all the choices you made in your life, so far up to however old you are here today. Congratulate yourself. Please give yourself a big hand. Okay. Now, let me ask, am I making any sense? Okay. That's how I felt. When I got into the business, I just ran to this world of knowledge and wisdom and just learning and being coached and mentored. And every day, do you guys like to learn? Yeah? Because the more we learn, like Warren Buffett said, the more we earn. Okay? That's a good advice from him, right? Now, the why is very important. See, many of you are thinking, Samson, I'm not like you. I don't have that much time. I don't, I'm stuck in my job or, this is big gorilla on my back. I'm not like you. I cannot talk like you. But I'm never going to be able to do what you do. Well, if you allow me, just 3 minutes to share a story with you. A wise man once said, when the why is strong enough, the how to come along. Have you heard that before? When the why is strong enough. When your why, for what you want, your desire, when your why is strong enough, the how to come along. Your desire, your want. But first, we got to figure out why we want to do the business. Does it make sense? So think about why, because that would be your motivation. It won't be anything we say, but your own. But all we do is try to reawaken the dream, put that idea back into your head. Because to be successful, these people are visionary. Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they're visionaries. They know why they want to do it. They know where they want to be. That's all you have to do to start the business. Now, the second thing. The biggest investment you're going to make in this business is time and your contacts. Now, there's a saying, your network is your net worth. Have you heard that before? It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. My gosh, after I got out of my furniture business, I figured it out. It's so true. In business, to be successful, you don't have to know everything. Do you know that? You don't have to know everything. You just have to know how to leverage somebody else who knows everything. You understand? So when we talk about a system, what Mark talked about was a lot of people who have done it, and we are here sharing the knowledge with you. Is that okay? Okay? And then there's a lot of information online that's accurate that we can use to do the business and tools of people using that. Sometimes the less we talk, the better. We just show some video, go through a PowerPoint, you can even read it, and you're done with the presentation. Well, are you interested or not? That's the opportunity. So we have a system to help you. When you share, when you talk to people, 90% of the people that will help you become successful in Jeunesse, you don't know yet. If you think about it, I don't know how many of you remember. Many years ago, there used to be something called a 6 degree of separation. You remember that? Through 6 people, you will know everybody in the world. That was quite a few years ago. Now, because of social networking, it's 4 degrees of separation. Through a couple of people, I know the Clintons. Not that I know the Clintons, you know what I'm saying? I've never met them, but I know somebody who knows them. The world's getting very small. And this is, this is our time. This is timing. 5 years ago, social networking was nowhere. Is it easy to find people who want to make money? Yes or no? Yes. And it's not only in the U.S. Do you know people who live outside U.S., any of you? Okay, or do you know somebody who knows somebody who lives outside the U.S., right? Do anybody live outside the U.S. now? Yeah, especially. So that's the power of this platform, because Jeunesse, more than 100 countries, online, freely accessible from what? Your mobile phone now, or your tablet. It's a very powerful business. So, so you got to go out there and you can share, you can talk to people to find out if they need an opportunity, if they want an opportunity. I still remember, when I was in my furniture business, after 2001, 9/11, I'm trapped. Business is very bad every day. I open the door, I hope that we don't get a goose egg. 0 sale, Yeah. And I'm like, I still have to pay one of my stores $20,000 a month in rent. Just one out of the 3. I need $60,000 to break even in that store. Is that a lot of money? It's a lot of money. I was like in a straitjacket. Nobody came to me with an opportunity. And that's what we think. Because most of us never took the time to open our eyes to look for more opportunity. A couple of years ago, something came to me. You know why most of us don't have an opportunity? Because we spend all our time at work. Really? You think about that, right? So yeah, in this business, you don't have to know everything, because we have the tools, the people to teach you how to do the business. Okay? Now, so the way to do the business is plug into the system. And what is this system? Well, the way we look at it, company is the hardware. Hardware and software like a computer, right? So hardware is like the product, the online website, the compensation plan, some of the events that we have with the company. Because, folks, many people have a question in their mind. In the same company, same compensation plan, same product, why do some people make millions and some people don't? Same. Why? It's not the hardware. Does the software make a big difference? Heck yeah. We know, right? Depending on what app you download on your phone, it makes a huge difference. The know-how. That is the software. That is the system. So the system teaches us the know-how, what to do with those things, and what to say about those things, so we can share with other people. So in this documented and proven system, you just saw a few of the people who have become very successful in this business. There's no income claim whatsoever, but what if you had a chance to, go from a 1-bedroom apartment, downgrade to a 1-bedroom at a friend's house, to now 6-bedroom house. Honda Accord that leased in your friend's name in $200 a month, gets no credit, and now can cash buy whatever car you want. Last year, toward the end of last year, we have the LA car show, right? Every year. That time, I was there with my dear partner, Double Diamond, Yvonne Yen's husband, Calvin, and we're walking, right? And Calvin's all, this year, this show is great. His feeling is different. So I say, so what's so different? Can you imagine walking around just know that you can buy whatever you see? I said, wow, that's right. And he's not even the one working the business. Yvonne is. If you think about that, wouldn't that be amazing? Would that be an amazing feeling? Just to go to the restaurant, don't even look at the prices. What are we going to eat? Oh, just whatever. We can afford everything. Wouldn't that be nice? It does take some work and desire. But we are doing it. We're just average people. Now, so there are events all over the world. And, we learn from some of the most amazing teachers in our lifetime. Really, we work with some of the most amazing teachers with great wisdom. And one of them, how many of you know Mr. Les Brown? Okay? If you want to write his name down, not the band leader, but the motivational speaker. He's regarded by Toastmasters as one of the top 5 speakers in the world. Okay, and we really had the opportunity to sit down with him for dinner, which is quite an honor. And you know what? It's just that when you sit down with somebody who's traveled the world and have such incredible wisdom, just wisdom, they could, every sentence that they talk about, I know we can spend hours talking about that one idea. It's just that when we want to change, would it be better to hang around the successful people? Would it be better? And would you be closer to success? Absolutely. Because all is just how we think. If we can think like them, we can become like them. So in this system, we get to learn from some amazing people. So it's very simple. To start this business, get started with the friend who brought you. Start using the product. Because you use it, people see the difference, you feel the difference. Very easy to believe. And the product has been proven the last 5.5 years. I mean, Jeunesse is one of the most simple businesses out there. You use, you can do the business. Or you use, you don't do the business, then you end up doing the business because your friend asks, who's your plastic surgeon? Yeah, we'll do that, okay? So, and then learn the business. We have online webinars, online training by some of the most successful people in Jeunesse, amazing leaders from all walks of life. And that's, this knowledge is very powerful because, if you had to live your life all over again, would you live it better? Yes, because there's just something you didn't know before. We just don't know what we don't know. Maybe if we know more, we could have a different life. That's all it is. So the knowledge is very important. Now, you watch what others do because that's very important. When you watch what other people do and spend time doing that, you start to learn because learning is just not from listening or from seeing, but feeling too, okay? So, and then apply and do the business because when you apply it, the application of knowledge is power. You have to apply it, okay? So, and teach others what to do. Because one thing I have to say is that, in this business, I have somebody who actually, was in quite a bit of debt a little bit more than 5.5 years ago. I don't know what I was going to pay off. I knew I was going to make some money. I just didn't know how much, My hope was, okay, well, working this business, my life has totally changed. It's something that I never believed it 10 years ago because I saw Kim when I first met Kim 10 years ago. In this very hotel upstairs, she said, "This is a life-changing opportunity." I'm thinking, I've never seen anybody change their life at a job, right? Your boss is not going to change your life necessarily, right? So, but you know what? Having walked the journey, having learned all that I've learned, I could not talk like this 10 years ago. I could not talk like this 6 years ago. It's just through the journey that we start learning and learning and learning from amazing people. And by doing it, we can learn even more and get more. And somehow, maybe a lot of us, it's not a matter of the money because that's not a question anymore. But maybe just being grateful for what we've gotten from this amazing business called Jeunesse with Randy and Wendy and working with incredible leaders around the world that we're grateful for what we have because our success is your success. If you are successful, we are successful. And being grateful for what we've gotten, we just wish you are able to get what we get out of it. And more. Would you like that? Right? Go to a Porsche dealer, get another Porsche later today? That's what I'm thinking. Okay. But what if it's possible? So today, what happened is that once you walk through this journey, you start to change as a person. Become that successful person. Those of you know Zig Ziglar, he once said, you have to first be, then you can go get. And when you go get, you can have. Does that make sense? So today, I hope that, just jump starting your business, you grab the key points to the business. and you have opportunity to become successful just like us because you're in this business for yourself, but not by yourself. So give yourselves a big hand for being here. Thank you.